Alright, so in this video, I'm gonna show you how I use XBPS. Okay, so XBPS is the package manager for Voi Linux. Okay, so we're gonna have these commands: XBPS install to install something, remove to remove the package, install, that's su, to update every packages. Okay, XBPS query to query the information of packages, right? So but I'm not gonna type the command like this every time, right? I'm not going to install something by typing this and this, okay, and then let's say Novim. I won't type that. I'm gonna use bash functions. All right, so how do we set the function for bash, right? You can write ed.bash rc, right? But I'm not gonna write directly into this file. You're gonna see. So in the .bash rc, I'm gonna have this. Okay, so it's a for loop. So every output of this command, okay, for every output of this command, it's gonna source the file. Okay, so dot is source. Okay, you can do this, but I just want the dot. Okay, source is like running the script, running something. Okay, just look in that file and run that file. Okay, it's not, I don't think it's basically that, but yeah, it's just like that. Okay, so okay, for every output of this command, okay, so we're gonna see what is the output of this command. Okay, so it's gonna find, so fd is a find command. It's an alternative for the find util. Okay, so it's faster. Let's say, okay, let me show you how fast it is compared to find. Okay, so let's say I time the find command. Okay, it's gonna take you let's say, okay, half a second, right? But if, okay, so this find command is gonna list every files and folders in the current directory. So okay, in home. But if I use fd, it's gonna take half. Okay, it's double the speed of find. Let's say you have much more files. Okay, it's gonna much faster, right? So I'm not gonna use find, I'm gonna use fd. Okay, so fd in this directory, look just one def. So what is def? Let's say in this bash directory here, we have another directory called a, right? It won't look into that directory. Okay, it's just gonna look into the bash directory. So the def, the d here is def. Okay, def1, just look in the current directory, in that directory, don't look any further. Okay, and dash tf, what is it? Dash t is type and f is file. Just look for file, don't look for directory, because if you look for directory, it's gonna try to source the directory. It will return errors, right? So just look for file, one def in this directory, okay, and output it, and then source those files. So we're gonna cd into .config bash. Okay, now in this directory here, I have a directory named O. So that's why I don't want it to look any further. Okay, because in that directory I have some configurations that I'm no longer use, but I don't want to delete them yet. Okay, so just here. Okay, so there is a lot of file, but I'm just gonna talk about this file right here, XBPS. So when you start bash, it's gonna look for these files here, and in those files you're gonna have the XBPS file here. So in this file there are some functions that I declared. So first one, I'm just gonna talk about these in this video. Okay, so the first function is bc. Okay, so when I type bc and enter, okay, it's gonna run these command inside. Okay, it's like a shortcut, you know. So it's gonna run do as XBPS remove dash lowercase o. What does that mean? Okay, so now let's main XBPS remove and look for dash o here. It's gonna remove the orphans. What is an orphan? Okay, so let's say I install bash OTB. Okay, you see here, it's not just install bash OTB, it's gonna install something else. Okay, it's gonna install these. So in order for bash OTB to run correctly, it's gonna need these 3 packages. So in other words, you can say bash OTB depends on the 3. So if I remove bash OTB, these packages will become orphaned because it's just there. No one need it, no one require it, so it's an orphan. Okay, so yeah, let's say now I'm gonna do as XBPS remove bash OTB. Okay, as you can see, it's just gonna remove 1 package. Okay, it won't remove everything. Okay, so now when I do as, oh no, I don't need do as for that, XBPS query and capitalized O is gonna list the orphaned packages. Okay, yeah, those one has become orphans. Okay, now if you want to remove orphans, let's do as XBPS remove dash lowercase o. Okay, as you can see, the 3 packages will be removed. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, so XBPS remove dash o is gonna remove the orphan packages. Okay, but I don't want to type enter. Okay, just remove them. So in order to say yes, you need Y argument. Okay, so now let's say I install bash OTB again. So it's gonna come with all the dependencies, and then I do as XBPS remove bash OTB. Now it's just gonna remove bash OTB. Now let's say I do as XBPS remove dash OY. Everything remove. I don't need to hit enter, right? Okay, now so this gonna remove the orphans packages, right? And what is it? Okay, so after that it's gonna run this command. Okay, so XBPS remove OO. Why is that? Why is that 2O? What does that mean? Okay, so let's read the menu again. XBPS remove, right? And search for dash O. Okay, it's gonna clean the cage. You may say, what is the cage? Okay, let me explain it. Okay, we're gonna cd into var cage XBPS. Now when I hit ls, as you can see, we have bash OTB here. Okay, the dependencies, yeah, as you can remember, right? So let's see if I have bash OTB installed. Okay, let me install bash OTB again. Do as XBPS install bash OTB. Okay, so I don't have it on my system yet. So why is it still in the cage? So when you install a package, first thing is gonna download the archive on the rebel, right? After that, XBPS gonna extract the archive and put files where they belong. Okay, so that is how XBPS gonna install some software, some commands, some libraries, right? But after everything installed, XBPS still leave the original package, the original archive downloaded from the rebel, right? It haven't touched the archive. Okay, so all the archive of packages that you installed is stored in this directory. So I install bash OTB. That's why we have an archive here, bash OTB. Yeah, but I don't have it installed. Why is it still there? Okay, so it just leave the archive there in case you want to install bash OTB again. It won't have to download from the rebel. It's gonna be much faster. It just extract the files that already on your system. Okay, let's say I install bash OTB again. See, it won't need to download. Okay, there are no like kilobyte on second. Yeah, here, right? It won't have to download the archive again. So that's the cage, right? But if I remove bash OTB again, so when you remove a package, the original archive will be left on your system. If you want to remove it, you have to use XBPS remove and 2 capitalized O to remove the cache of uninstalled packages. But if you just use 1 uppercase O, it's just gonna remove the cache of outdated packages, right? If I install Firefox here, right? If tomorrow Firefox is gonna release Firefox 144, right? This package, this archive will still be here as an outdated package, right? So if tomorrow, after I update Firefox, I need to do this, remove -O to remove the outdated archive of Firefox 143. Yeah, that's it. So the first capitalized O, make sure that XBPS will remove the outdated cache, okay, packages, okay, and another capitalized O, okay, make sure that XBPS is gonna remove the uninstalled cache archive. Okay, let's say now I remove, let's see if I remove bash OTB. Okay, so it's not currently installed. Now we're gonna do this, do as XBPS remove -oo. As you can see, it's removed bash OTB archive from this directory. The next function is bi. What is bi? Okay, so it's gonna check if there is at least 1 argument. Okay, so that's n is if, okay, the first argument is not empty. Okay, so in other words, you can say if there are any argument. Okay, so if there are any argument, it's gonna install that, just that. So if, okay, so let's say I bi bash OTB. Okay, so we have first argument here, right? So this is okay. Then it's gonna run this. It's gonna run do as XBPS install -s to sync the repository, and then y to answer yes for every confirmation, right? And then it's just gonna install bash OTB. Look at that. And as you can see, we removed the cache, so it has to re-download everything, right? As you can see here. Yeah, so bi is to install packages. Let's say I bi Firefox wget bash OTB. As you can see, because everything is installed, it won't do anything, but yeah, you get the idea, right? So bi is for installed something, right? BL, all the package that you install with this command, right? And let's say Firefox wget, right? This package will now be marked as manually installed, okay? Manually, right? And the dependencies will be marked as auto installed, okay? So there are 2 different groups of packages, right? The one that you type in your command is the manually installed, right? And the ones that come along with it, the dependencies, right, is gonna be the auto installed. Okay, so we have X package. This command is from the I think is xtools minimal. Yeah, it's from xtool minimal. So in order to for this to work, you have to do as XBPS install xtools, minimal, or just xtools. We need xtools anyway, so yeah, just install xtools, right? So we're gonna have x packages. What is this gonna do, right? You may ask. Okay, it's gonna list all the manually installed packages. Remember, manually, okay? It's not all the package on your system, it's just the manually installed, okay? So when I hit BL, as you can see, it's gonna print all the manually installed. So in the past, there has been time that I sit here and type do as XBPS install everything here, right? Everything. I manually install these, okay? So yeah, BL is list manually install. This is a cleaner way for me to manage what package I have on my system. I don't want to list all packages. It's gonna be a really long list. I just want to list all the manually install. Okay, so BL is gonna list the manually install and then pipe that into column to make it beautiful like this. Okay, yeah, usually my terminal font is not this big. Usually it's about this big. So when I hit BL, it's gonna look like this. Yeah, it's much cleaner. But if you just want X packages, X package -m, it's gonna be a really long list, and we don't want that. We're going to pipe that into the column command, right? Look at that, much more beautiful. Okay, so BL is list all the manually installed. So BM. Okay, so this relate to the previous command. BM is mark something as auto or manually installed. Let's say I hit BL and I want this wget package to be an auto installed. So it become a dependency, right? When I hit BM auto wget, okay, it will no longer be in this manually installed list. As you can see here, there is no wget anymore. Look at that. So when I hit BC, you think what's gonna happen? Because wget now has become a package that no other package needed, right? It's gonna become an orphan, right? When I hit BC, as you can see, wget has been removed. It's an orphan. And then it's gonna remove the cage archive of wget as well. Look at that. But I need wget, so I'm gonna install it again. See, I just hit bi wget to install wget. Okay, now, so BM is a way for me to mark a software, a package, as manually or auto install. Let's say I mark wget as auto install again, right? So when I hit BL, there is no wget, but when I hit BM manual wget, when I hit BL again, it's gonna be here. Look at this. Okay, so I use BM when I want to clean up the manually installed list. If there is a package that I no longer need, but I don't know if it's a dependency for any other one that I need, okay, I'm just gonna mark it as auto to remove it from this list. I'm not uninstall it, okay? I'm just gonna mark it as auto install. So when I hit BC, if it's an orphan, it's gonna be removed. But if another package depends on it, it's not gonna be removed, okay? That's it. That's how I use BM. Okay, BN. This one is really simple. It's just gonna count the packages that I have on my system. Okay, so X package is gonna list all the packages on my system. So when I hit X package, it's gonna list all the package on my system. And then I pipe that into word count -L to count the lines. Okay, it's gonna return the number of packages, right? That's it. So BQ, what is it? So it's gonna check if there is at least one argument. It's gonna do this. What is it? XBPS. What is that? So every package has a information page. Okay, let's say a XBPS query -rs new vim is gonna show the information of this package. So the output of XBPS query is YAML, and I want some color, so I'm gonna use bat to colorize that YAML output. That's it. That's all this gonna do. So you're gonna need the bat command. You're gonna need bat to install bat. I already installed it. So when I hit bkill and then new vim, you see there are colors. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So what is BU? Yeah, this is simple. It's just update the whole system. When I hit BU, it's gonna update the whole system. Okay, so Zathura has some update and it's updated. Look at that. Okay, so BR. BR is a little complicated, as you can see here. Okay, so if there are two arguments, right? As you can see here, if the second argument is empty, so if there is only one argument, okay, as you can see here, that Z is if the string is empty. So if the second argument is empty, in other words, is if there are only one argument. Okay, so then it's gonna use FZF to pick a package. Okay, so X package command is gonna list all the installed packages, right? We have okay, so X package list all the currently installed packages. Okay, and then we pipe that into FZF. We can select one, or maybe we can multi to select multiple one, right? Let's say I select these. Let's say I search for NeoVim and I select it. Okay, so you can see it's gonna return a list of selected packages. Okay, so what is this gonna do? Okay, it's gonna get a list of selected packages. We're gonna use FZF to select packages. Okay, and if we select anything, it's gonna do as XBPS remove those packages. That's it. If I use BR and let's say NeoVim, and there are the second argument here, let's say wget, so the second argument is not empty, what is it gonna do? It's gonna just remove everything. That's it. If the second argument, okay, is not empty, it's gonna remove all the given argument. That's it. All right, if wget here, it's gonna remove NeoVim, and then it's gonna remove wget. That's it. As you can see, NeoVim and wget has been removed. Okay, but I don't want to, so I'm gonna install wget and NeoVim again. So BF is find. Okay, so when I hit BF, it's gonna list all the package in the repo. Okay, not on my system, in the repo. So Voi Linux repo currently have this many packages. I can just search for things, right? Let's say search for NeoVim. Okay, I want to install that. I'm gonna hit tab to select, but not yet. I want to install something. I want to install Firefox. I hit tab to select it. As you can see, we have a red line there. Okay, so I want to install, let's say wget, right? I hit enter, and it's gonna try to install these packages. Okay, so X package -a is gonna list all the packages in the repo, not just on our system. Okay, remember that. Okay, so and then pipe the output to FZF and give us the ability to select multiple items. Okay, and then the query is gonna be whatever we type right after the BF command. Let's say I type NeoVim here, it's gonna search for NeoVim by default, right? And then preview it's just like the query option up here, right? We're gonna get some information, and then we pipe that into bat to get the colors. Look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, so when I hit BF new Vim, as you can see, it's gonna output here. Okay, as I can scroll up and down to see, so this is a fork of Vim, okay, whatever. Yet, as you can see, yeah, so BF is like a way for me to find packages. Okay, so down here is just some completion. Okay, completion is when you hit a command and then you type something and you hit tab. Okay, if that command supports completion, it's gonna show you some options. Let me BR. Let's say I just hit NE, okay, and then I hit tab. It's gonna just type the remain parts. It's gonna type neovim. But if I just hit N, okay, hit tab once more, it's gonna show all the packages that start with one N. Look at that. That's beautiful, right? So yeah, these are everything that I need to use XBPS. So here a tip, okay? Usually you just XBPS remove, let's say bash OTP, it's just gonna remove the package that you give it, okay? It's not gonna remove the dependencies, right? So to remove the dependencies as well, you need to type dash uppercase R, okay? So it's gonna remove the dependencies as well. Okay, so yeah, that's a tip. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.